Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network, aka Casper. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely. And of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. So overall, we are still seeing Bitcoin ranging around the 40K zone. I do believe that this last drop was a little bit, of a confirmation that our low is put in place. I know that we came down as low as like roughly 39 point almost 4K, but 39.6K was our main support level. Reason why I say that is if you look at the chart and you go back to, excuse me, those September lows back here. I know on this chart it's not really kind of showing us that, but the wicks were at around 39.6K. Also, it is around the range of the August lows. It's somewhere within that demand zone, and we have bounced off of these lows before. Ultimately speaking, I think that there is a ton of support at around 39.6K. I could kind of show you guys that on the chart here shortly, but for the most part, I do want to talk to you guys about Casper. So, as we are talking about some altcoins, there are a few that are bouncing back fairly strong. Casper is one that almost hit 8 cents yet again today, off of those lows at around like almost roughly 7.5 cents. But this one has been one of my top tier holds. This is one that I have been accumulating heavily. Volume is extremely low, so when we do get a top tier exchange, this thing's going to move very, very fast. I've always said that this could pull a major run. We could go to $4 to $7. We can go even higher. It depends on the amount of volume and buy demand. Right now, we are on a few top tier exchanges, but I'm talking about like tier 1 exchanges. We're talking Binance, Coinbase, something like that, to really push the demand and the volume behind Casper to some new heights. So let's talk about a few things. So first off, let's address the overall chart. So I was talking to you guys a little bit. I don't know if it was in the Discord, if it was in a video, but I was telling you guys about a few buy zones. The buy zone was the support zone going back as far as July 12th, that nice, weekly candle. It was basically a support range on this level that we currently just tapped, a little bit, of a little wick below it. But ultimately, this was a major support level. It's a support level going back as far as March 21st and March 28th, and these are weekly candles. We also seen this being a support zone at around the January timeframe as well. So when we talk about that support, it's fairly strong. We are hitting resistance at about the 10-day EMA, almost at about 3 cents. We really want to move up above that. On the daily candle, you guys could also see this, being, fairly strong as a resistance zone. We really want to break above that. I mean, the last time that we broke above it, it goes back as far as, March, when we did have that nice run to like almost 11 cents exact. That's what we're waiting for right now. We need a clear break above this to truly go to that 200-day EMA at about 11.5 cents almost, which will push us way up above 12 cents to retest some fib levels. Now again, on the daily, you can really kind of see the support zone around this point. I think that this is fairly strong as a support zone, and I do believe that the low for Casper is in. Of course, we have to watch and wait and really kind of see if that's confirmed. Diminished volume greatly, by the way. Volume right now on Casper is very bad. It's very poor. But we will, continue to analyze that and address it. Of course, it wouldn't be me doing some TA without me checking out the Bitcoin price chart. In terms of the Bitcoin price chart for Casper, it is showing some strength. I actually have to move this fib level down now because we did wick a little bit lower. But as you guys do see, the clear targets are in mind here. I'm really watching for us to really retest that 236 fib level, similar to what we did back here in November, to take us to the 24-cent zone. Right now, I would say that the Bitcoin price chart for Casper looks pretty strong. Looks like we are going to be breaking out of that, RSI wedge on the moving average, which is at around like 58.4. If we could break above that, that's going to be something pretty significant. But if we do reject that, we will see a little bit of, some nice downward trend. But My target points are the 382. This is the demand zone that I really want to see us back into. This is the demand zone before we kind of retested sideways and then went to the moon, if you will. On this next major move up, I do think that it's going to be something significant. And of course, my targets are on the board, as you guys do see on the fib levels up here, at that 4236 and that 4618. So we have a long ways to go, but I definitely do think that the price charts for Casper look pretty strong right now, especially if they can continue this nice little pattern that they are playing out right now since going back as far as March 16th, where we have that nice impulsive move. Downtrend, sideways momentum, nice upside move, downtrend, sideways momentum, and guess what the next one will be? It will be back up into this demand zone. So I'm watching that very closely, and honestly, even the USDT chart kind of looks the same, where we have this nice uptrend, sideways momentum, uptrend, downward, sideways momentum, and then the uptrend. So I'm watching for that 200-day retest. I think it's going to be something significant. I have been accumulating, Casper heavily, as you guys are probably all aware. Now, let's talk about a few things. So, one, Lunar Crush, the overall social dominance here is something that is pretty significant. So, first off, we look at this and we are talking more so about the insights on Casper. Where is the demand coming from? Is there social, demand behind Casper? And honestly, I do think that we will continue to see social dominance continue to grow within Casper as it does get realized by a lot of individuals. You got to remember, there's not a lot of, high tier individuals in terms of influencers in quotation marks. I hate that word, but we got to utilize it. But there's not a lot of individuals talking about Casper right now, especially high tier accounts. The opinions over here are buy and, HODL. There's 0% sell, which is pretty funny. But as you guys do see here, I'm the number 2 influencer for Casper. It's funny because, I'm such a small account compared to most. And here I am at number 2. It really kind of goes to show you that, we still are very early. Now, I do want to check out the insights for Casper. So let me go to... I don't know why. I think that they changed their sort of insight here, but let me go to social engagement, social dominance, and social, or I can only choose 2. So we'll do social engagement and social dominance. So as you guys do see, these are down a lot right now. Even social volume is down a lot as well, which tells me that, a lot of individuals are still kind of ignoring Casper. Of course, this is on the daily. I think I could change this to... They changed this all up, and I'm not used to it, to be completely honest with you guys. But I wish I could change this to the monthly. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. So we're still on the weekly. Let me go to the daily. Here we go. Sorry about that. But as you guys do still see, on the daily, this is all still down. I mean, it tells me that, again, not a lot of people are paying attention to Casper. Even on the 1 month span, right? It's still down greatly compared to, again, the price. The price is up on the 1 month span, 32.9%. But look at the social, dominance and volume. Again, we seen going back to November, social volume and all that kind of jumping out once the price started to fly. That was back during this time where we were sideways momentum, and then we broke up to the upside. I was accumulating during this time as well, just so that you guys know I'm still down on a lot of these buy points on Casper. I was buying during this time, sideways momentum. I stopped buying once we kind of broke out of this fib level at around 12.5 cents almost. Of course, I bought heavily down in these, slumps, and I'm still buying right now because I do see the massive upside potential here. I mean, think about it like this, right? I want you guys to understand that if we do break out, right? So here we have an individual comparing Casper to many other altcoins. And we do see Casper is so cheap right now. Imagine the day it reaches the market cap of one of these titans, right? Now, I just want you to all understand that Casper is, still fairly early in the stages of building its ecosystem out compared to some of these. But I definitely do think that the upside potential on Casper is great. Compared to most assets. Like here's a Solana comparison where we would have 101x opportunity. Here's an ADA comparison, 91x. Also, we do see, an Avalanche comparison, 61x opportunity. And I've always said $4 to $7 is something that we could be seeing, and it really kind of positions it right around this range. So I don't think that these are too unrealistic as, pretty much I would say comparisons in terms of price and market cap. You got to realize that, the market cap of all of these assets is completely different than their all-time highs recently. I mean, I've done the comparisons. When we compare Casper to Solana and ADA at their all-time highs, we're looking at like a $10 plus Casper. And I do believe that Casper is a $10 plus token, especially with what it has been building out. I mean, honestly, when you look at the things happening on Casper right now, it's insane to say the least that we are this early into something like this. I mean, IPwe, which was a showcased use case that I've shown you guys multiple times, right? They're building out so much. And here we have it, IPwe Casper Labs partnership live on the Casper network. Like, look at what they are building out here. So, IPwe is pleased to be nominated for World Intellectual. I don't even it's WIPO's. I don't know how to pronounce that, or like it's just WIPO. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it in a different word or anything like that. But World IP Day contest with the entry of our ESG Smart Pool, the patent pool dedicated to improving the core need of humankind, ecological footprints, and the global standard of living. This is huge because this is all NFT patents. That's what IPwe has, formulated themselves. By the way, this agency is fairly large, 115.1K. This is all, built around intellectual property and patents in general. So again, this kind of solidifies where IPwe is, I would say positioned. But also, IPwe is doing some very incredible things as a company, but also as a use case on Casper. And there's a lot of individuals already utilizing, this use case right now. But I do see this continuing to grow and grow as we do see more and more demand around NFTs and around, of course, the metaverse and things like that. I think that this is something that's very interesting as a use case, but also just think about it like this. Casper also just, or I shouldn't say Casper, but Metacask just announced their, NFT on Casper as well. Casper's been building. I would say when we look at what Casper has been doing lately compared to social volume and even price, I don't think that the price and the social volume has caught up yet to what Casper's actually doing. I think that we're actually ahead of the curve right now, which will ultimately lead to a major breakout event. I've always said this even in comparison to Matic, right? I've compared my investments to Matic because it was one of my early ones where, I almost sold. I almost, made a massive mistake on Polygon, right? I have explained this on this channel multiple times, right? It was during this time, back in January of 2021, I was holding. We've seen some nice jumps, like, right, we went to like 12 cents, and then we kind of just traded sideways, jumped out a little bit more, and everyone thought that this was the top. 42 cents was the top. It wasn't going any higher than that. It's going to, fall, it's going to collapse. And we kind of continued on this nice sideways momentum. We hit resistance. Then that, Bitcoin drop came, and we dropped all the way down to like 32 cents. On some exchanges, it was like 20 some cents. And this is where I was like, okay, well, we've been holding for so long. It's been like 3-4 months. I've seen so many other altcoins go off. What is Polygon's problem, right? And I almost sold. But then I was like, you know what? Let me hold out for a little bit longer. And I didn't even have to hold for too much longer. It was like around a few days later where we jumped to almost $1 plus. Now, during this time, I did take some profit. I sold around this range. I didn't sell my whole bag, but, the major sell-off event really kind of started within the October-November timeframe. And this is when I was kind of, dead set on the idea on like, let me just take a massive amount of profit. I don't really hold any Polygon anymore. I'm fully out of it. But it is because I'm in other better ROI potential projects, because I already got my massive potential out of this. I mean, like, this is where I was buying this thing, and look at where it went. So again, I still see the future like that for Casper, right? Like I look at Casper at these prices, and on the chart, right? When we look at the chart, we're going to be looking at this, and these prices here are going to be the same prices that we're going to be seeing when the chart is all the way up here to like $3, $4. I mean, these prices that we see are only going to be a memory of what Casper was. Because I do believe that these prices will never be, seen after we do really start that breakout. and go to, of course, our target points for this, cycle. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.